We're going to get started. Hello, bonjour, and welcome to our Christie Mountain wildfire update for August the 24th. We're just waiting for our media to get ready and for our live stream as well. Everybody good to go? Stand by. I'll just remind our media while we have a moment, if you are planning on asking any questions, if you could please step up to the microphone so everyone at home can hear you. Again, for our media, please use the microphone if you can. It does help when we are ensuring people at home can hear what's going on here. So stand by for those of you watching on Facebook. We are just preparing our live feed here for our media partners. And I'll just remind you, for those of you who are watching, we'll have a short introduction from RDOS Chair Carla Kazakovich, and she will be providing an update on the alerts and orders for the regional district. We will then have time for question and answers. And then at that point, we will invite Donnie Van Dyke, he's the city manager for the city of Penticton, to come up, and also John Vasilaki, the mayor of the city of Penticton. He'll be speaking today as well. And then we'll have further opportunity for questions and answers as well. And again, for those of you watching on Facebook, we are, or anywhere else, Castanet and other sources, we are just waiting for our media partners to get on board so they can carry this news conference live. Again, my name is Eric Thompson, and I'm with the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen. We are going to get underway in just a few minutes, so we'll ask you to stand by for just a moment, please. Thank you. Good to go? Hello again. Hello, bonjour. My name is Eric Thompson. I'm an information officer with the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen, the RDOS, Emergency Operations Center, the EOC. This is the Christie Mountain wildfire update for August 24th, and we're specifically focusing on evacuation alerts and orders for both the Regional District and the City of Penticton. We are on the traditional territory of the Syilx Okanagan peoples, and we are coming to you today from the Penticton Lakeside Resort in beautiful Penticton, British Columbia. In just a moment, the RDOS Chair, Carla Kazakovich, will join us for a quick update on the situation within the Regional District, and then we'll hear from the City of Penticton, both City Manager Donnie Van Dyke and the Mayor, John Vasilaki. After the Chair speaks, we will have time for a quick question and answer session. Then we'll hear from the City of Penticton. We'll have further opportunity for questions and answers. For the latest information on the Christie Mountain wildfire, we invite you to follow BC Wildfire Service on the web and their social media as well. And for information about the evacuation alerts and orders, you can visit emergency.rdos.bc.ca or penticton.ca. And one final reminder, for those of you living in the Regional District, please sign up for Civic Ready. That's our mass notification system, so you can receive emergency notification in case of an emergency or any other event. All right. Carla Kazakovich is the chair of the Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen, and she joins us now for an update.
Thank you very much, Eric. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the media for being here with us today, and thank you to those of you who are joining us from your homes. I'd like to start by confirming that our evacuation order for the Heritage Hills area of Electoral Area D, 319 properties, is still in effect, as well as our evacuation alert for 116 homes in the Upper Carmi area. BC Wildfire has not released the area to the RDOS at this time. There is still some fire activity, but we are hearing no major flare-ups overnight, and I believe the cooler temperatures are certainly aiding in the fight. Safety is our primary concern, and helicopters are still bucketing water from Skaha Lake near the highway, over the highway, and the evacuation zone. Advanced planning for re-entry is underway. We must ensure the area is safe for homeowners to return, which includes assessments from geotechnical engineers to assess slope stability and retaining walls. There are burnt trees that may be dangerous and pose a risk of falling. Possible damage to power lines and the restoration of utilities such as electricity and gas must be investigated, and we need to confirm all is safe. When we are able to have Heritage Hills homeowners return to their properties, it will be through a staged re-entry approach by designated times with the assistance of the RCMP and private security. Re-entry kits for our citizens have been prepared. I understand this is a very stressful and difficult time for those of you that are on alert, and in particular for those of you who have been ordered out of their homes. The professionals and our volunteers understand this as well. I ask that if you're part of the evac order area, that you please be patient. I know that you want to get back into your homes, and I know that you want to return to life as it was before the fire. I ask that you be kind and respectful to the trained staff and volunteers that have worked tirelessly to protect your homes and provide you support services. 319 properties were evacuated. 318 of those property owners will be able to return to their homes in the very near future. Let's remind ourselves that one home was completely destroyed in the fire, and those homeowners will not have a home to return to, and they have a long road ahead of them. We do want to get you back into your homes as quickly as possible, but it must be done safely. If you have not signed up yet for Civic Ready, for the information notifications, please go to the RDOS website, rdos.bc.ca, and there is a link there for you to sign up for Civic Ready notifications. And if you do need assistance, you can phone the RDOS and they can help you. I would like to continue to offer thanks to BC Wildfire, our rural and municipal fire crews, all of the City of Penticton and RDOS staff and volunteers for all they have done to protect homes and provide support services to our evacuees. And also a special thank you to MP Cannings and the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General, Minister Farnworth, who visited our Emergency Operations Centre this morning. Thank you very much.
We'll now open up the floor to questions from the media. So if anyone from the media has any questions, please step up to the microphone here.
Hi, Carla. Shelby Tom, Global Okanagan. Do you have a timeline on when that evacuation order could be rescinded for Heritage Hills? Anything that you could provide those homeowners tonight, tomorrow morning? You know, what sort of timeline are we looking at?
I expected that question. We've been hearing it a lot lately. I can confirm it will not be today. We are hoping that in the next couple days, we will be able to get people moving back into their homes. So definitely this week, but I don't want to promise that it would be tomorrow. We have to wait for these assessments to come back from the geotechs to ensure that the area is stable.
We are aware of the one home that has been destroyed. Are you aware of any other residences in that area that have been damaged at all by smoke or flame or embers? Has there been any other property or structural damage?
I'm not aware of that. I do know that they are having to look at retaining walls and not even just cement retaining walls. Many people would use wood, rebar rocks to hold back land, and a lot of that wood has burnt up. So that is the area of concern, that it is stable around many of the homes up there.
Hi, Carla. Chelsea with Castanet News. I'm hearing from people wondering what it's going to look like up there when they do get back in terms of flame retardant, ash everywhere. I don't know if you're the right person to ask or if there's someone else here who might be able to give us, what are people going to see when they do get back into their homes?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't been up there, so I've been following the orders of not going into that area. So that is a question I can't answer at this time, other than I know that many of the trees and shrubs have burnt very closely to the homes, and there would be fire retardant. So I suspect that they're going to see a lot of charred forest and a lot of that dark red retardant in the area.
Hi. Brady Strachan with CBC Kelowna. You talked about a staged re-entry. How is that? Can you tell us a bit how that might look? Would that be staged throughout one day or staged throughout multiple days? Yeah, can
Right.
you unpack that a little?
It's sometimes tough to just tell all of the property owners, go ahead and go in, and then everybody rushes there at once. So it's a little bit easier to break it out by addresses and have time frames. So over the course of one day and hopefully not stretched out too long. So we may say at a particular time, this group of addresses can go in, an hour later, we'll move to the next set and work it that way through.
And when do you think you might be able to release the information on the set time of when they can return?
I am hopeful tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, Wednesday. So stay tuned. We are working on it as quickly as possible.
Thanks.
Okay, Eric? Thank you.
Thank you. That's Carla Kazakiewicz, the chair of the regional district. And just to answer a couple of your questions very quickly before we bring Donnie Van Dyke up from the city of Penticton, you will see some retardant in the area, but it'll be away from homes, more likely up in the trees. There will be, of course, some equipment still in the area. Most of it will be cleared away. There may be some bladders that have water in them and that kind of thing, but still an area to be cautious of. And the evacuation order remains in place, so everyone has to avoid that area. With this staged reentry, the idea is it'll all happen, if all goes well, in one day at different time slots. So we do ask residents to be mindful of that and please respect those people who will be working up there and providing that access. You will see people on site who will help you out. Reentry kits will be available as well. And now we'll bring up Donnie Van Dyke with the city of Penticton for an update on the situation with the 3,669 homes on evacuation alert.
Thank you, Eric. So this morning, upon receiving guidance from BC Wildfire, as well as collaborating with the Regional District Okanagan-Similkameen, pleased to share that at 10:30 a.m. we lifted the evacuation alert for all 3,669 residents within Penticton city limits. So pleased to share that. I'll have the mayor share gratitude on behalf of mayor, council, city, and staff within the city of Penticton to the various groups and individuals that were leaders in allowing us to share this good news this morning. I also just want to take a moment to touch on the support we received from our emergency support services volunteer group locally in town, and they continue to support the regional district evacuation order and alert. And they're a group right now that's got 30 volunteers down in the ESS reception center. And for those at home that are in the Penticton area, I would strongly encourage you to consider volunteering for this group. This group does everything from run reception centers to take care of food and clothing and medical needs for those who need to evacuate, and they could use some more volunteers for the future. So the City of Penticton Emergency Operations Center call center is going to be available for the rest of the day, and that phone number again is at 250-490-2345. Again, 250-490-2345. So if you call that number and provide your name, your phone number, your email, they will take that information, and when this crisis is over, share it with our local ESS branch, and they will contact you to set up some training and get you set up to volunteer for future events such as this. So I've asked the mayor to share our gratitude on behalf of the City of Penticton to a variety of groups, and I'll invite him up now to do so. And I should also just note that thank you to the media that provided such timely information to our residents and regional residents as well throughout this crisis. It was much appreciated. Mayor Vasilaki.
Thank you very much, Donnie. Thank you for having me here today. It's always a pleasure, especially on a day that we bring nothing but good news for the city of Penticton. The regional district is still on alert and evacuation as well. So Penticton is one of the only two cities in the world that is situated between two lakes. We have beautiful sandy beaches and world-renowned biking and mountain climbing amenities. We also enjoy some of the hottest average temperatures in Canada, which along with the cooling effect of our mountains, provide the perfect climate for a thriving wine industry. And while all of these features make us a fantastic year-round destination, our beautiful natural setting comes with the risk of forest fires and wildfires. This last week, we witnessed how different agencies of government can come together in an emergency to protect our residents and their homes when disaster strikes. We saw how our residents and businesses will rally to support their neighbors and the work of the firefighters. And also, while this past week was filled with worry, today I'm filled with immense pride. On behalf of Council and all of our residents, we're incredibly thankful to all our partners who assisted us during this challenging time, including our local and supporting firefighters, the RDOS, BC Wildfire, RCMP, and the Emergency Support Services and Penticton Search and Rescue, well, along with everyone who stepped up to get prepared and ready in the event an evacuation order had to be necessary. I also want to thank our media, both locally, provincially, and nationally, who regularly and professionally assisted our EOC in getting information out, not only to our residents and businesses, but to everyone who cares about our community. I want to end by commending the volunteers of Emergency Support Services. These teams sets up the Emergency Reception Center at a moment's notice and coordinate services such as transportation, temporary lodging, food, clothing, and emotional support for people affected by an emergency in the first 72 hours. Like many nonprofit organizations, they are struggling to meet the demand for their services and need more volunteers. I strongly encourage the citizens of Penticton and the regional district to take up the call to serve this important organization. If you have skills or time to contribute and would like to learn more, please visit our website at penticton.ca. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to say how fortunate we have been in the last week that we didn't have the destruction of other communities with wildfires in their presence. The work that was done by BC Forest Service and all the others concerned, and the swiftness in which they took care of this emergency was superb. And I'd like to thank them from the bottom of my heart, and so do the residents of Penticton City Council and our staff. And I thank you very much.
I'm going to ask the Mayor to stand by for a moment in case we do have any questions from the media, either for the Mayor or for City Manager Donnie Van Dyke. And if not, we'll then wrap it up in just a moment with a few final thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
This might be more for Donnie, actually. I was just wondering if we could get an idea of the number of people that accessed ESS services during this time.
Thanks, Chelsea. So you would have heard us speaking earlier about the evacuation registration tool, evacuation registration assistance tool. So we had, for this event, there were 5,350 people who pre-registered for evacuation, should it become necessary. 4,185 of them were in the alert area. Now, some of those members did in fact attend the reception center at 199 Ellis Street, and they received instructions, guidance on how to prepare for an evacuation, as well as any sort of emotional support that could come with having a wildfire at your doorstep. So the team there has been stood up. I've actually just come from the reception center, and it was still buzzing, again, mostly with regional district residents that were on evacuation order, but that group is prepared to serve the entire region, and just like many other ESS groups, is prepared to serve provincially if need be. So we should also commend not just the local and regional ESS groups, but the Kelowna ESS assisted with ensuring additional hotel rooms should we need them. The North Okanagan ESS also was there assisting, and so we were prepared in case the worst did happen within the city of Penticton. Thanks.
Hi, Shelby Tom, Global Okanagan. I believe this is the first major wildfire that has threatened Penticton, at least in recent years, since the 4 years that I've been here. I'm wondering, looking back now that this is coming to an end, where do you think the city of Penticton succeeded in responding to the Christie Mountain wildfire, and where do you think you identified any gaps or shortfalls that could be improved upon if this does happen again?
I really don't think there were any gaps in this case. Like I said, we are very, very fortunate with BC Wildfire Service and our local fire departments who came to the scene almost immediately. And we just didn't experience the bad luck, we'll call it bad luck, that other communities had in the province. Fort McMurray was a prime example where they lost a portion of their community to a wildfire. We were fortunate that didn't happen to us, and I like to think that our people who are ready in case anything like this happened just jumped into the picture immediately, even though it was late in the season and we weren't expecting anything like this to happen. We were very, very fortunate that we were able to put the fire out and save all those homes, unfortunately, with the exception of one in the regional district area. But all in all, I'm very pleased with what happened during this emergency that we had. Anyone else?
Thank you. I'll step in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mayor John Vasilaki from the City of Penticton. A couple of very quick final notes before we wrap up. We do have closed captioning enabled, and we are on the City of Penticton Facebook page broadcasting right now. Tomorrow, we're back again for what we hope will be a final day of updates from this forum, and we will be on the Regional District of Okanagan's Similkameen Facebook page and potentially some of our local media partners as well. A reminder for those of you who are still under evacuation order in the RDOS. It's a staged reentry we're looking at. All the information will be posted as soon as we have it available, both through our Civic Ready mass notification system and through our other channels, including the websites and Facebook. The chair, Karla Kazakovich, mentioned our website for the RDOS website. It's rdos.bc.ca, and then our emergency operations website is emergency.rdos.bc.ca. Well, we have you here, a very quick couple of thank yous. You've heard most of the thank yous, but I do want to reiterate on behalf of the RDOS, BC Wildfire Service, all the local and out-of-town fire departments and firefighters for doing the work that they've been doing over the past while. The Office of the Fire Commissioner, BC Fire Chiefs Association, and of course all the emergency personnel, and that includes RCMP, Search and Rescue, the paramedics. Search and rescue volunteers are amazing people, and that's another group. If you have any time to volunteer and you have some special skills, there's a group that always needs a little extra helping hand. Emergency support services and all of those volunteers, you've heard a lot about them. The Canadian Red Cross, and ALERT, the Animal Lifeline response team helping the animals. And also, of course, the City of Penticton working very well together with both BC Wildfire and the Regional District, all of the neighboring municipalities, and everyone who has been offering support. Again, if you're on evacuation order, everything is being done to return you to your homes as quickly and safely as possible. The EOC, the Emergency Operations Center phone number, 250-490-4225. And again, we're back tomorrow, noon, and thank you so much for joining us.